Tonight I voted on Lord's amendments in the House of Commons to support our democracy, to support our standards and to uphold our values, to try and put pressure on those who might commit genocide. I'm sad to say that the government voted against those principles. Amendments on the trade bill from the Lords came forward, which would have allowed us to have a parliamentary scrutiny of trade deals in terms of their objectives and a vote after they're concluded in the way that the EU does with their MEPs, and we did until we left the EU. But now we're left in a situation where trade deals will be rushed through with a rubber stamp from MPs representing local constituents. Secondly, I voted in favour of upholding standards, the so-called non-aggression clause, to protect our public health, to protect our environment, to protect our workers' rights from being undermined by new trade deals with other countries. Again, the Conservative government resisted that power. And finally, and all importantly, there's a critical vote tonight on whether our courts, our judges, should be involved not only in judging genocide, but in tying us in to whether our trade agreements should go ahead with countries who are known to commit genocide. That would ultimately be a political decision and not by the judges. And again, the government have ruled not to go forward in that way. This is a particularly pertinent point as we hear about the atrocities against the Uyghur Muslims, mass rape, torture, body parts being taken out involuntarily, concentration camps essentially of unpaid workers producing products that we consume here. And the amendment put forward would have basically meant that the courts would be charged with judging whether cultural and other genocide had occurred, and they are in fact empowered to do that already under the 2001 International Criminal Court Act. Then it would be for Parliament and politicians to decide what to do about that. The government has argued that this is a conflict between Parliament and the courts. Of course it's not. It's a clear difference of role where the findings are made clear by the court and by judges, and the Parliament has the power then to take action and, if need be, to not sign trade deals with those who commit genocide. I voted in favour of that, and sadly through its manoeuvrings the government opposed that, and so we will continue as a nation to be in a position where we will go forward having trade with countries we know and believe to commit genocide. As a sad stain of democracy, I will continue to stand up for my constituents and stand up for our values of democracy, high standards in trade, and using trade to oppose genocidal acts by ruthless dictators elsewhere.